Welcome back everyone to Cricket Beyond Cancer. I am Shourabh Vittalmurthy, and before we dive into what was an extraordinary night of cricket in Colombo, let me begin by saying I owe you an apology. It's been a while since my last episode, and truth be told, I had a few technical hiccups. My phone decided to wage its own mini World Cup against me. But the battle's been fought, the tech is finally back on my side, and so am I, right here doing what I love the most, sharing stories of cricket, courage, and everything that lies between the boundary ropes and the battles within. Because here on Cricket Beyond Cancer, we don't just talk about matches, we talk about meaning. We explore the grit behind the glory, the lessons behind the losses, and the emotions that make this game so deeply human. And what better place to return than from the heart of Colombo, the R. Premadasa Stadium, where India and Pakistan wrote yet another fierce, unforgettable chapter in women's cricket history. The air was thick with humidity, anticipation, and tension, that unmistakable Premadasa atmosphere where every shout echoes, every ball feels heavier, and every mistake gets magnified under the lights. Fatima Sana won the toss and chose to bowl first. A bold, calculated gamble on a slow, sticky track that looked tailor made for spinners. Her plan? Restrict India below 250, chase smartly, and maybe, just maybe, rewrite a history that reads 11-0 in India's favor. No wonder it was a tactical, gutsy, and for a large part of the innings, it definitely worked. Because this wasn't the kind of pitch where you could just hit through the line. The ball gripped, the timing deserted, and India found themselves wrestling not just with Pakistan's bowlers but with their own patience. India's top order, the powerhouse trio of Mandana, Harman, and Jamima, has often carried the team like a backbone of steel. But on this night, that steel was tested by Pakistan's discipline. Smriti Mandana looked uncharacteristically uneasy, beaten repeatedly by Fatima Sana's in-swingers that jagged back late. When she finally fell for 23 LBW, it set the tone for a grind rather than a gallop. Harlin Deol and Pratika Rawal tried to rebuild, but their partnership lacked rhythm. Dot balls after dot balls piled up like pressure points, 78 in the first 20 overs. That's more than a third of the innings where the scoreboard refused to move. Pakistan spinners Sadia Iqbal and Ramin Shamim executed their plans to perfection, flat, tight, and patient. India's innings felt like a car stuck in just the second gear. And then, as if Premadasa wanted its own twist of drama in this big encounter, came the bug invasion. The game stopped for fumigation, the air filled with mist and confusion, and yet even that couldn't clear the haze around India's batting. At 187 for 6, it looked like India would fold for under 210 or 220, but then Richa Ghosh walked in. Composed, confident, eyes blazing with intent. In just 20 balls, she turned the innings around. 35 not out, full of crisp drives and fearless lofts over extra cover. It was audacity meeting timing, experience meeting instinct. And that surge from 210 to 247 all out was the difference between hope and despair. Let me tell you a fun fact. It was the highest ODI total ever posted without a single 50 plus partnership, a stat that sums up India's struggle and their depth in equal measure. The chase began like a nightmare for Pakistan. Muniba Ali ran out in the most bizarre fashion, grounded her bat, lifted it mid throw, and the bails were gone. A mix of luck, lapse, and definitely a heartbreak for Pakistan. From that moment, India sensed blood. Enter Kranti Gaud, bowling with rhythm and fire. She struck thrice in her first spell. Pakistan were struggling at 26 for 3, staring into the abyss. But Sidra Amin wasn't going quietly. Her 81 of 106 was a lesson in grace and grit. filled with late cuts, deft drives, and an audacious six that sent the Indian dugout into stunned silence. At one stage, with Natalia Parvez providing steady support, Pakistan dared to dream again and build the win. But like all dreams against this Indian side, it was short lived. Once Sidra fell, caught trying to accelerate, the innings folded like a paper fortress. 159 all out in 43 overs. India's streak now reads 12-0 in ODIs against Pakistan. Every match reveals more than it resolves, and this one was no different. Kranti Gaud, 3 for 20, pace, control, temperament. A bowler who didn't just fill a role, she announced herself. Richa Ghosh, 35 of 20, the calm in the chaos. India's finisher in the making, playing with the clarity of someone who's been here before. Sidra Amin, the lone warrior whose 81 was both defense and artistry. But beneath the result, the concerns were real. India's strike rotation was poor, far too many dot balls, their fielding at times lethargic, the middle order unsure and reactive. Against the likes of Australia or England or even South Africa, those cracks could become collapses. So, what does India need to fix before the next big clash? Perhaps strike rotation? You can't build momentum if you keep staring at the scoreboard between dots. Sweep, tap, and pick the gaps. Use angles. That's modern ODI batting. Top order intent. Smriti and Herman must rediscover their attacking instincts early. India thrives when one of them dictates tempo from ball 1. Spinner utilization. Rana and Deepthi are world class, but they need to bowl in shorter, aggressive bursts, not defensive containment. Fielding energy. This has been a huge letdown for India in this World Cup. Fielding is attitude made visible. India needs sharper throws, louder communication, and intensity that reflects hunger. Secondary finisher. Richa can't always rescue the innings alone. India needs to have a few batters taking more responsibility in the middle overs and pace their innings so a stage is set for the likes of Richa and Sneharana to finish the innings on a high note and give them the much required momentum while they go to bowl. Of course, no India Pakistan clash is without its subtext. The no handshake continued the same quiet tension that we have seen across tournaments now. So, India win again, the streak lives, the pride continues, but the perfection is still in progress. The positives are loud, new heroes emerging, depth strengthening, belief intact. But the warning bells ring too: over dependence, under rotation, and tactical complacency. If India can fix this, sharpen their execution, and rediscover that killer edge and work on their fielding, this team isn't just a contender, it's a champion in waiting. Here on Cricket Beyond Cancer, we celebrate more than numbers. We celebrate resilience, whether it's a team defending a legacy or a person fighting unseen battles, because sport, much like life, is about rising again and again. Until next time, this is Shourabh Vittalmurthy signing off from Cricket Beyond Cancer. Keep believing, keep fighting, and remember, even on the toughest days, your scars become your story of strength. Keep supporting the Indian women's team in this World Cup. Thank you.